The shimmer of light faded, and the first thing I heard was a gunshot. Not from a movie, not from a reenactment. Real, close, and followed by a scream. I had just landed in October 1881, in a town so dangerous that newspapers back east refused to print half of what happened here. Tombstone, Arizona. I had 24 hours to survive it, and less than a minute in, I already understood why most people didn't. I ducked behind a water trough as the street cleared like someone had rung a bell only they could hear. Doors slammed shut, windows went dark. A boy no older than 12 ran past me whispering one word: Cowboys. I didn't understand yet what that word meant here. In every other town in America, it meant cattle herders. In Tombstone, I would learn it meant something closer to a death sentence. A boarding house owner pulled me off the street before I got myself killed standing in the open. She explained it fast. Tombstone wasn't just a silver boom town, it was a battlefield disguised as one. On one side, a gang of outlaw ranchers called the Cowboys, smuggling stolen cattle across the border. On the other, the Earp brothers, Wyatt, Virgil, Morgan, and a gambler named Doc Holliday, trying to hold the law together with nothing but reputation and revolvers. But the deeper I asked, the stranger the story got. This wasn't really about cattle, and it wasn't really about the law either. It was about money, silver money, and who controlled it. The Cowboys had friends in the sheriff's office. The Earps had enemies in the town council. Nobody in Tombstone was simply good or simply bad. Everyone was playing a game where the stakes were their own lives, and I had walked directly into the middle of it. By early afternoon, I thought I understood the danger, until I watched Ike Clanton, drunk and screaming threats in the street, get pistol whipped to the ground by Virgil Earp himself, the town marshal. I assumed that was the climax. I was wrong. A local rancher grabbed my arm and muttered something that changed everything. That wasn't the fight. That was the warning. The real confrontation hadn't even started yet. Word spread through Tombstone faster than I could process it. The Earps and Doc Holliday were walking toward a narrow lot behind the OK Corral, where the Cowboys were gathering, armed and furious. I had one choice to make in that moment: hide or witness the exact moment history would remember this town forever. I chose to follow, staying just close enough to see and just far enough, I hoped, to survive it. What I expected was a standoff. What I got was 30 seconds of gunfire, so fast and so loud I felt it in my ribs before my brain caught up. When the smoke cleared, 3 men were dead: Billy Clanton and both McLowry brothers. Virgil and Morgan Earp were wounded, and Wyatt Earp, the man history would turn into a legend, walked out of that lot without a single scratch. The twist wasn't the gunfight. The twist was realizing this hadn't been justice or revenge, it had been inevitable from the moment I arrived. That night, Tombstone didn't celebrate and it didn't mourn, it argued. In every saloon, men debated whether what happened in that lot was murder or the law finally winning. I sat in the boarding house, hands still shaking, and understood something the history books never fully capture. Tombstone wasn't dangerous because of one gunfight behind a corral. It was dangerous because every single person in that town was one afternoon away from becoming part of one. As the shimmer of light rose to pull me back to my own time, I looked once more at that quiet, exhausted town, and I couldn't stop asking myself the same question. In a place where everyone was armed, everyone was afraid, and everyone believed they were the ones in the right, was anyone in Tombstone actually the